So basically, you can see on this right side of the screen, we have double top, head and shoulders, blah, blah, rising wedge, and all that kind of stuff. So I'm going to try to demonstrate my best and my best knowledge to show you how it looks on an actual chart, okay? So starting with the double top, we can see that we have, I'm going to use arrows, okay? So we can see this movement. So going from here, okay, we see that first line. So the first line goes up. Then we see that second line all the way back down. So a second line down. Then we see the third and fourth. So it's not gonna be perfect, okay? So this also what we call a double bottom as well. But if you just want to get straight to the point, then we have a double top right there. So we see how that little area right here kind of plays that little resistance role. That's a double top, okay? Boom boom. It's equal highs. In other words, our goal is to like obtain and clear those areas, but we're just gonna focus on chart patterns right now. So that's a double top, okay? And then this is a double bottom. So boom, boom. So if I was to just clear everything here real quick, you can see how price comes from arrow. So boom. I'm gonna make this a different color to make it really noticeable. Okay, you see that? Okay, boom. 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 And then boom. Okay. So, like I said, it's not gonna be perfect. It's not gonna be equal all the time. But you can see how this one's a little. This one will be a little lower. Let me see how many pips lower. So 8. That's still fine. You know what I'm saying? Like this is a double top as well. Boom, but it's actually a triple top. I'm sorry, but like I said, it's not to be perfect. So from what we just saw right here, this is what we have our double top, or rather, this is our triple top. So 1, 2, 3, which indicates it's all. Triple top's also gonna be. I don't think it's spotted here, but if you pay attention to the notes I sent you, this is also one of the patterns. So you got have a triple bottom. So 1, 2, 3. Let me see something. So yeah, that's where you have a triple bottom, triple bottom, and then double top and double bottom. And then now we're gonna try to find some what we call rising wedges. So if I was to go to EJ, I'm pretty sure somewhere there I have EJ somewhere spotted around. So let me see if I can go ahead and find that real quick. So I'm just kind of move this over a little. So my screen's moving a little slow right now. Let's see. Nope. Oh, okay, so for EJ, and I believe we're gonna go to the 4-hour. Okay. Actually, let me go to the 1 hour to make it look more, you know, to the point. Okay, let's go to the 30-minute. Yeah, that works. Okay, so what can we see here? Rising wedge. And why is it a rising wedge? Because you see the upward price movement, then it starts to bounce, 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 bounce. And then, remember what I told you? If you combine institutional trend, it broke out for a little before actually getting down there. And then if you zoom into it, it's going to be a retest on this secondary line. So what's going to happen is price, boom, 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 retest, and then it starts to fall off. But this was an institutional candle, so that's why I caught the sell. But as what's being stating here is what we call the rising wedge. Okay, so this also, let me see what else I can call this. As price starts to come down, it's gonna make it what we call a bullish flag, but we're gonna get there. So I hope y'all can see why I'm considering this a rising wedge, because price is rising up and it's getting tighter and tighter. And once it gets tighter, it breaks through. So that's exactly what happened there. It broke through for maybe from here, retail formation, it broke down literally 50 pips. From institutional, catching up the highs, we caught it for like 76 or whatever, which is the goal. Get the higher pips and then get out of there. So that's the rising wedge. We already went through the double top, double bottom. So now we're gonna have to find the head and shoulders. So from what I'm seeing here is that we can possibly locate the head and shoulders. Let me go ahead and use this tool. So stating the last video, if you watched how to use the TradingView, you can go ahead and just click the head and shoulders tool, and you can just start right there. So this will be the left shoulder, okay? Then this will be the head, and then I believe price can come back up here and make a left shoulder before it actually begins to sell off. So these are possibilities. So remember, I told you it's not gonna be perfect, but you can see this particular area right there to show that left shoulder area. The head is all the way at the peak. The right shoulder is not gonna be. The right shoulder can just be this small, this big, but it's not gonna be over the head. It's just gonna be lower. So I might just reject right off there, boom, and then continue to sell off, and then take out these equal lows, which will be right there. Yep. So I hope you've seen how I'm combining using institutional with chart patterns and all that kind of stuff. So that would be what we call using head and shoulders. So once you find the inverse, I'm not gonna lie to you, I barely use it, but let me see if I can find it real quick. Should be in the lower time frame on purpose so I can find all these type of patterns. Okay. Not the best formation, but I found something, okay? So this is the head and shoulders. Now where's the inverse? I don't think they have the inverse one. It doesn't seem like they do. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. Okay, so what we're gonna do here is, okay, we're gonna use a brush. So what we can see here, this is going to be our, so pay attention to this one right here is your inverse head and shoulders. So price came down, created its first shoulder, and then it did its little whatever, did this, and then it did its little rejection, and then it went over there. It's not the best option right now. I'm gonna find it later, but I'm just showing you as like what's going on right now. So let me just delete this real quick, and then use trend lines. So you can see these two areas, how they kind of reject in the same area. But it does not go any further than the head. So this is what we call an inverse head and shoulder. So it's kind of just, in other words, it's more like a triple bottom, but the middle one will always be deeper or steeper or whatever you want to call it, but it will be deeper. But these two areas be significantly close to each other, and then that's how you're gonna know it's an inverse head and shoulders. And then falling wedge, literally the same exact thing as a rising wedge. So you're just gonna take a trend line. You can see how it's kind of falling or whatever, and then like I said, it's not gonna be perfect. Let's see if I just make this right up there. And then price broke out, rejected again, then broke out. So using retail, this is a falling wedge. Or if you want to go to the 1 hour time frame, this is actually called a wait, no. Okay, I'm sorry, never mind. So yeah, so what we have here is the falling wedge. Price breaks out, boom, shoots up. So that would be a falling wedge. So you can see how prices came out all the way down there. And then, so yeah, I think that's that. What else do we have here? So what else? And then we got the falling wedge. So we have continuation patterns, which basically mean a falling wedge from this side. Okay. So basically a falling wedge is basically where price comes up and then it falls and then continues to buy. This is actually what we call a bullish flag. So there's different ways you can call it, but here we go. So we're gonna have this, and then price is going to fall just like that, and you're gonna see how it kind of rejects right there. Then this side you can just kind of just do this, and then we have a rising wedge. It doesn't have to be tight, it doesn't have to be simple, it doesn't have to be perfect, but nothing is textbook pattern in the market. Nothing's gonna be perfect. Okay, so I just want you to always remember that. So what we have here is that you can see that rejection, then boom, shoots up. Your stop loss will probably be somewhere down there where these lows are. I think that'll be roughly maybe, let's see. So if you were to enter right there, like a 36 pip stop loss, you might as well make it 40. And then your drawdown will probably be maybe around 20 pips or something. And then you'll be in profit for over 258 pips. And then you have the bullish rectangle. And the bullish rectangle is basically, this is actually a bullish rectangle right here, but let me see where else I can find it. Let's see. Because this is what we call a bearish. So if you see this bearish rectangle right down there, you see price coming there, then makes this bearish area. It just consolidates, does it blah, 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 then breaks out. So price came from upward in this direction. In other words, what we call a bearish flag. But it's not. A bearish flag usually goes like this, though. It's what we're gonna call that a rising wedge. So that's the bearish flag. That's the bullish flag. Okay. Good. And what else do we have here? So what else we have here is we got the bullish and the bearish. So this is the bearish. Okay, that's a bearish rectangle. And then what else can we find here? Let's see if we can find the bullish and the bearish pennant. These are a little bit harder to find, but I'm gonna see if I can find one right now. I used to just do these all the time. But let me see if I can find something like that. Let me go to like the 2 hour. Let's see. Nah. These are usually better. Okay. Hmm. No, actually, let me use this one instead. So remember I told you it's not gonna be perfect. Regardless, boom, you can see that. It came from down here. It didn't directly come like the way you want it on the market. Like I told you, nothing is textbook pattern. However, it still came from an upward direction. So deleting this line, we can see that we have a bullish pennant, and what happens? Price breaks out, goes to the upward direction. So we didn't get that little. We got that little retest right here. Like I said, it's not perfect, but if you were to add a no, I'm sorry, is that a brush? No, let me make a rectangle. If you were to add, this would actually be like a rejection zone. So if you know your support and resistance stuff, this is a rejection zone. So you can see why it rejected, then shot up, just like I said. Bullish pennant, and then bearish pennant basically the opposite way, vice versa. And then for ascending triangle, that's basically the same thing. It can be bilateral. So basically what they mean is it can come here, reject, sell. Or descending triangle, it's the same thing. It can come up there, reject, sell. It's basically a bilateral pattern, meaning anything can happen. So you just got to be careful and choose which one you want to do. So for example, you can actually sell here, which you did, but it was only caught like maybe, I don't know, 26 pips. Is that worth it? No. However, but if you catch this little rejection zone, then maybe you would say, okay, we having this a bullish pennant, so let's catch buy. And then you have your entry right there, and then set your stop loss using these tools, long position. So set it right there, and then have your stop loss 40 pips for euro pairs, and then set your TP. So these you want to take out these highs. So 60 pips would have been ideal, but you want to swing for whatever reason by like zooming out to say why price might push up. So you got all these equal highs. So I would definitely have my stop loss a little higher. So boom. So roughly around 105 pips. So yeah, simple stuff, nothing too confusing, but that's how I use the chart patterns. Like I said, everything I sent in these notes are there for a reason. Just make sure to look at them. That's all for today. Alrighty.